Hello, everyone. I am Renee Anderson, and you're watching Out at the Center.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Take your time. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it right. Come on, baby. Let's do it.
The center recently hosted a panel for men having babies. Attorneys, doctors, and surrogates came to offer their advice to wannabe dads.
You are part of something very, very big. I think it's a very common experience for those of us pursuing parenthood to sort of be in that single adult childless world for a long time, and then we begin to hear a little bit of the drumbeat that says we can do this. We start to explore it, we get more information, we have a child, and the next thing you know, we're on the other side of that looking glass. And you'll discover an entirely new world in your community that is the world of parents and children. So I look forward to welcoming you.
The first thing they asked me to talk to you about is how do we go about matching clients with carriers and donors. I think it's incredibly important to be on the same page. And in fact, one of our rules is if a couple comes in and they're not, we won't work with them because we say, we don't want to hurt your relationship over this wonderful thing. Come to the same page and then go forward. Some people will come to us and say, I want a donor who's 5'8", blonde hair, blue-eyed, and went to an Ivy League school. Other people will come to us and say, I want a second-time donor who has been successful before because they care most about having a baby. We've had a woman who came to us and said, I just want the happy gene. And we found a very bright, bubbly egg donor who she just adored. As far as the timeline, generally speaking, we find that it's about 15 to 18 months from soup to nuts, from the time you walk in the door of our offices to the time a baby is born. You're probably talking about real close to $100,000 when all is said and done.
So you're going to be looking at the law for two things. Can you get both of your names on the birth certificate, and can you legally compensate your carrier? The problem is in New York, you cannot compensate anyone to be your carrier if she delivers in New York. So you're going to want to make sure that your carrier is a good match, because the contract is a very useful legal tool, and there are certain aspects of it which will definitely be enforceable. Most people fear that the carrier is going to try to keep the baby, but the carrier's biggest fear is that you're not going to take the baby. Most of the issues that come up in the contract are relationship issues. My carrier's not taking her vitamins. I found out she got a speeding ticket. She's taking too long to call me back. She's eating, you know.
What I'm going to talk to you about is hopefully the medical aspects of what happens. Everyone else is going to talk to you about the legal aspects and of getting the gestational carrier and some of the psychological aspects. And on all of that is really important, probably much more important than what I'm going to talk to you about. Success rates are right around 70% that patients will have a baby after their first time. There are animal species that will produce 10 eggs and have 10 babies. As humans, we're not that lucky.
I wanted to talk to you today about the psychological aspects involved in surrogacy. One of the take-home messages I'd like you to get is that you're not going to be prepared for the power of this relationship in your lives. People who are gestational carriers typically are not doing it for the money. People who are gestational carriers choose to do this because they believe that they can do something big with their lives this way.
What motivates a woman to become surrogate or an egg donor? And I am one of those crazy people that likes to be pregnant. I don't know why, but I do. You cannot expect that you're going to be able to tell this woman what she can and cannot do the entire time she's pregnant. You got to give her some kind of leeway. It is her body. You just have to make sure you're with the right people.
My partner AJ and I had twins through a gestational arrangement with Dustin, and John actually we worked with through surrogacy for the initial part of our arrangement, and then Melissa helped us out with the second parent adoption. I think if you pick the right people and you take the time to know them, you can have a really easy and open, comfortable relationship if anyone wants to meet the rest of the family. I have boy-girl twins, Katie and Connor, and they're almost 16 months old. 17 months old, sorry. I think it's really important in making a decision to become a parent that you both are on board. I think if one of you is not really 100% wholeheartedly interested, it's probably not a good choice. I think parenting is a serious lifelong commitment, and it's a lot of work, let me tell you, when you have those kids, and it tests your relationship.
We were both on the same page from the day we've been together, but just trying to work out how did we both feel about this. There was a lot of fear about how society would treat the kids. I've sort of been amazed at how well society has treated the kids, but we were quite fearful of it.
It's thrilling, but you are really coming out again. When you're walking down the street with the baby carriage, when you're going to school functions, when you're talking with other heterosexual parents.